A reading from Luke chapter 5, verse 17 through 26, the healing of the paralytic. One day as Jesus was teaching, Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there who had come from every village of Galilee and Judah and Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was with him for healing. And some men brought on a stretcher a man who was paralyzed. They were trying to bring him in and set him in his presence. But not finding a way to bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and lowered him on a stretcher through the tiles into the middle in front of Jesus. When he saw their faith, he said, "As for you, your sins are forgiven." Then the scribes and Pharisees began to ask themselves, Who is this who speaks blasphemies? Who but God alone can forgive sins? Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them in reply, "What are you thinking in your hearts? Which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he said to the man who was paralyzed, "I say to you, rise, pick up your stretcher, and go home." He stood up immediately before them, picked up what he had been lying on, and went home glorifying God. Then astonishment seized them all, and they glorified God, and struck with awe, they said, "We have seen incredible things today." In the gospel passage of Luke chapter 5, verse 17 through 26, Jesus heals the paralyzed man and forgives his sins. After reading this passage, what spoke out to me is to have faith in Jesus Christ. If a person has strong faith in Jesus, they too can be helped. Also, there is no barrier to a person with a determined mind. It was trouble for the men to get to Jesus with the crowd, so with that they lowered him, the paralyzed man, through the roof and lowered him down to Jesus. In my life, I'm preparing for a big transition and need to prepare for the next step. Just like Advent, this is a season of preparation. This passage glorifies Jesus and showcases just how powerful